Hello and welcome back to my road to completion guide for Resident Evil 2. We're now in episode 18. This is going to be Claire's A campaign. I'm going to show you guys how to menu through that here in a second because it can be a little bit confusing. There's new game and then there's new game second run. Very important that you guys select new game and then Claire. If you go to the second run now, it's going to mess up the collectible. Okay, and it's going to cost you guys a lot of time. You want to make sure it's new game and then Claire and you'll be good to go. Now, a couple things we want to focus on in this playthrough. Number one, we need to complete this playthrough on standard difficulty. Okay, I'm going to show you here in a second that I'm going to be picking standard difficulty. Very important that we do this because our third and fourth playthrough is going to be on hardcore difficulty. See what I'm doing right here, guys? A new game. Do not select new game second run, new game, and then Claire Redfield, and you're good. Our third and fourth playthrough is going to be on hardcore. If you guys can complete this playthrough and get an S rank, not only are you guys going to get the trophy, you guys know there's a trophy attached to Claire's campaign for completing it on or getting an S rank. Not only are you guys going to get that trophy, but when you complete the game on S rank, you unlock a pistol called the Samurai Edge, and that is infinite ammo. Very important because in your third and fourth playthrough, you can use the Samurai Edge for both Leon and Claire. It'll be in your storage box. And since we've already got the trophy for, not using our storage box, we can go into the storage box and pick it up. Okay. And that way we can play hardcore difficulty with infinite ammo, which is really good. So if you guys can push yourself to the limit on this playthrough, study the video before you actually start to play, right? Even if you have to watch it a few times, know exactly where I'm going next, and then make a beeline straight for those points and you'll be good. Now, I would not suggest watching the whole video and trying to memorize everything. Watch from typewriter to typewriter, okay? From save to save. Everything's gonna be timestamped below. And when you go into the timestamps below, look for every time it says save and just memorize that little segment of the video. Know exactly what you're gonna do when you get there and then play through. Now, each time that I save, I'm going to show you guys how much time I have, how much play time I have. If you guys haven't picked up on that yet, when you hit options or you go into your menu in the top right, it tells you how long you've been playing. Okay. There's a little clock up there. Maybe it says 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, right? I will show you that in my game. Each time I get to a typewriter and I save, I'm going to show you how long I've been playing. You need to make sure that you're around that same time or better. Okay, and if you are over that time limit, you don't want to be but maybe a minute or two over, right? You want to be like 50 minutes over. Then you want to go back to a previous save and better your time. Okay, so it's just checkpoint to checkpoint, save to save. I just want you guys to constantly be checking out your time, making sure that everything is good, right? So that's number one. You have to do this in less than 3.5 hours. Now, if you follow this guide, you're going to do it in probably 2 hours because this is a very fast playthrough. Okay. So there's a lot of leeway here if you need to be slower than the rate that I'm going, right? Just 3.5 hours and you're good, okay? And you guys can pick up your S rank. It does not matter how many times you save or any of that stuff. Now, one tip I can throw your way is if you die, do not hit continue. Go back to the previous save. It's going to give you an option to continue or quit or load. You want to load the previous save because if you hit continue, it's going to add to your time. Okay. And the way you can tell if you're doing this correctly is every time you get to a typewriter and you save, check your time. Maybe it says 15 minutes. Play. Let's say you die. Load back in your previous save. And then guess what? Immediately check your time. If it says 15 minutes, then you loaded up the correct save and you're good. If it says 19 minutes, you've done something wrong along the way. Okay. Try to keep that time down. Again, there's going to be about 1.5 hours of leeway here because I go through this fairly quick. So you guys need to study the video, know exactly where I'm going next. And remember, you're just studying the game in chunks from typewriter to typewriter, and you guys will be good. Now, a couple other things you want to remember in this playthrough. The enemies are a lot tougher here because you're playing on standard difficulty. So what used to kill them is not going to kill them this time around. So I would not suggest you guys trying to kill every single zombie. Notice what I just done on the screen right here, right? I'm not trying to kill the zombies. I'm just weakening their legs. I'm shooting them in the head one time and I'm stunning them and then I'm just running past them. Another reason why you want to stay focused on this is because you don't have aim assist anymore, right? So getting those headshots are not going to come as easy. You're going to be focused on their legs, because if you can shoot their legs and knock a limb off, they will crawl around on the ground, and that'll obviously make them go a lot slower, and you won't have to worry about killing them necessarily, right? And you can push through the game a lot faster. If you sit here and try to kill every single enemy you come in contact with, it's just going to slow down your time. So just notice what I do in the game. If you see me skipping an enemy, feel free to skip it as well. And like I said, the legs are going to be what you want to be focused on the most in this playthrough, not the head. Now, in this particular episode, there are going to be, I'm going to count them out to you guys now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 collectibles you guys need to pick up in this playthrough. Okay, everything's timestamped below. You will see me pick these things up in the guide. So just make sure that you pick up those 10 things. Of course, once we get to the end of episode 19, we'll go through another checklist of all the stuff you guys should have. And that way we're all on the same page with our files and stuff like that. But there's 10 collectibles. Look down in the description, in the timestamps below. You will see the word collectible, and then you'll see what you're collecting out beside of it. Just make sure that you collect everything in this episode. Now, another thing we want to focus on here is the steps trophy. You guys know there's a trophy attached to how many steps you take in the game, right? It's called a small carbon footprint. You have to take less than 1,400 steps in order to get that trophy. So you want to be very cautious when you're running around the areas. You don't want to be, like let's say you get on an elevator, right? You don't want to be running around in a circle while the elevator is going up and down. I know a lot of times we get bored on elevators and we, just kind of running around in a circle and stuff. That's counting towards your steps, right? If you're opening up a door and you're waiting for it to slide up, you know how you can run into the door and just kind of run in place for a couple of seconds? Don't do that. That's costing you steps. So you want to be still when you're shooting enemies. You don't want to be strafing left and right and walking around. You want to stay stationary as much as possible when you're shooting zombies and stuff, because it's costing you steps. Now, the way you can keep track of that too is the same way you can keep track of it with your time limit. Every time you save, go into your options menu, go to your records, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see how many steps you've taken in the game. I'm going to show you that each time I save as well in this playthrough. You want to keep track of how much time is on my clock and how many steps I've taken, and you want to be in that general area with both of those stats. As long as you're doing that, guys, you're going to be fine. If you feel like you're over the number of steps, go back to a previous save, you're good to go. If you feel like you haven't collected everything, go back to a previous save. You will always have those fail safes set up for you guys, right? By the time we're done with this playthrough, we want to get 6 trophies. We want to get Young Escape and Hide and Seek. That's for completing Sherry's segment. If you guys remember in the previous episode, I told you that with Leon's campaign, you have Ada's segment that you have to do. In Claire's campaign, you have Sherry's segment. It's a little girl in the game that you have to get out of this area. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys if you never played the game, but you have to help her escape this area in the game. There's going to be 2 trophies for that. I will come back in with commentary once we get to that part, which is going to be the end of this video, and explain to you guys what's going on with those 2 trophies. And then of course in episode 19, you guys do everything correctly with your S rank and you watch the number of steps you have, you guys will get 4 trophies with time to spare. We're going to get that for defeating the last boss with 4+ minutes left on the clock. I'll of course explain that when we get there. You'll get a Heroine Emerges. That's for completing Claire's story. And then Sizzling Scarlet Hero. That's for completing Claire's story on standard or hardcore with an S rank, which is what you guys are doing now. Standard difficulty with an S rank. Again, 3.5 hours and you guys are good. And then a small carbon footprint. Take 14,000 steps or fewer in one playthrough. So then I'll come back in episode 19 and walk you guys through some other things. And we'll wrap up Claire's campaign. And then when we come back for Leon's campaign in hardcore, I'll do commentary throughout that video because you guys will be on hardcore mode. A lot of stuff will be changed and in different places, and I will commentate you guys through that entire process. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Be good.
was that?
Claire, it's Marvin. How fast can you get back here?
Why? What's up?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
All right, I'm on my way.
So Elliot was right.
Yeah, but we're not out of here yet. Marvin? This is bad. I've got zombies everywhere. Marvin? Marvin, are you there? Marvin? God, you gotta be kidding me. What the fuck? You ass. Cords ain't gonna cut it this way. This thing's gotta go down.
This way! It won't move. You got it!
So, what's your mom like?
She works at Umbrella. She's making an important new medicine.
Umbrella? That big pharmaceutical company?
My mom's always at work. I don't get to see her much.
Well, hopefully you'll get to see her again soon. So, where's your dad?
He, worked with my mom, but he's
Gone. Wow. Both of my parents. Are gone. It's just me and my brother.
oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. It means we've got something in common, and that's a good thing, right?
Over there! It's closed.
Okay. Key card first. And then that asshole gets what's coming to him. Must be where that guy came from. That bastard is the police chief? Jesus, stay back! That worked.
All right, guys, so here we are in Sherry's segment. We need to get a trophy called Young Escape. We basically need to escape this bedroom in 60 seconds. Now, go ahead and grab the toy, get the block from the inside, and do not rush. Even though, yes, there's a trophy tied to the 60-second time limit, do not feel like you have to rush for now. I just want you guys to go over here, locate these blocks, place your fourth block in, and then look at the puzzle solution in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Take your time and try to figure out which blocks need to be moved and how many times they need to be rotated and which position they need to eventually fall in. Make some notes on a scratch sheet of paper. This can take you 20 minutes. It doesn't matter the time. All you're trying to figure out is how fast can you get to the actual puzzle solution and which blocks need to be moved and adjusted to get there. Make notes on a scratch sheet of paper. Then quit the game and continue back in. You'll be right here inside of Sherry's segment again. Grab the toy, rotate it, get the block, and then make all your moves. You've already got it. You know, you've basically solved your own puzzle on a scratch sheet of paper. The reason why you have to do this, guys, is because the solution to this puzzle is going to be the same for all of us. But our initial starting block locations are not the same. So what I'm showing you here is not going to work for you unless you get the randomness in your game that I got from mine, right? So you're going to have to work on this puzzle on your own. Take as many attempts as you need. All you have to do is make sure that you're able to get out of this room in 60 seconds. But you don't need to focus on that until you have the solution down pat, if that makes sense, right? Until you know what the solution is. Well, I say solution, how to get to the solution really quick. Until you've got that down, there's no point in you trying to rush and get to 60 seconds. Okay, so take all the time you need, do a couple of practice attempts until you cut open that cardboard area with the scissors. You can still pop the trophy. So just continue as many times as you need to, work on that 60 seconds, and you'll have no problem getting that trophy. I also have a trophy guide up on the channel if you guys want to listen to my commentary over there. You won't feel so rushed because, you know, right now you're obviously trying to play through the game. You're working on your steps and your time and all that kind of stuff. If you want to watch that video before you actually do the puzzle, maybe hear my commentary on that, you can do that as well. If you guys have any questions, obviously you can leave it down below in the comments. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with it. Let's continue on with Sherry's segment here. Let's make sure we pick up this collectible. This will be collectible 76 of 89. That's Tom's diary. If you go back into the video a second ago, we picked up a collectible called Sally's diary. It was just before we climbed up on top of those, I think it was like shelves or drawers or something that we pulled out before we climbed through the window. This will be collectible 77 of 89, another diary. And then you guys can set up a save right here. And I would strongly urge you guys to set up a save. Again, check your time and check your steps. Notice my steps right there, a little over 5,000 steps. And my time is about 50 minutes or so. It gives you guys an idea of where you should be in the run, give or take. Doesn't have to be exact. Grab this key, and then he's going to immediately want to chase you. Run down the hallway. He's super slow, so don't really worry about that. Just you're just basically just backtracking the same place that you just came from. Up the stairs, take a left, go through the door, and then you're going to want to crouch underneath some of these toys in the room. Right here, just kind of crouch underneath. Then what's going to happen is he's going to come in this room and try to find you. If you hide right here, you're really safe until he starts to walk around this area. As he walks around to the right, you are going to kind of crawl to the left. Does that make sense? You're always going to keep the object that's in front of us now in between you and him, and he won't be able to see you. Okay. Then once this is done, I'll show you guys another hiding place, and you just basically sit there until the cutscene takes over. But for now, you just want to stay crouched right here and let him walk around you to the right. You'll see that here. Okay. See how I'm kind of just going around to the left as he's going around to the right. And you're good. Now you're safe again for a few more seconds. He's going to go over there and push that crib to the left. And then he's going to start walking back toward camera on your right. When he does, you can kind of, you see that path right there that he just opened for you? You're going right there. But you want to wait until he comes to your right before you make your push. Okay, see how I'm strafing again to the left here. And then right there you can go. Just want to walk around, and then you want to hide right here, and he will not be able to see you. Okay. Now what's going to happen at this point, he's going to walk basically the same path you just took to get to where you are now. He's going to path that way as well. And then he's going to start vomiting and throwing up and stuff like that. And he's going to want to go to the bathroom. There'll be a little cut scene. When that's over with, you can make a beeline straight for the bathroom door. He's going to leave a key in that door for you. You want to grab that key and then run back. I guess just path back the way you came. We want to go back downstairs again and kind of make our escape that way. And then once you get through a certain door, another cutscene takes over, and that ends the sequence.
It burns!
Grab that key, run straight, take a left. Again, we're just pathing back the same way that we came. Okay, see that? Going back out to the main room, make sure you use the key. That's going to unlock all these doors and go down the stairs. And you don't actually have to try to leave via the front exit of the building. I think I did that in my trophy guide for this, but you don't have to do that. You can just come over here to this door, unlock it. And then as soon as you get on the inside, the cinematic takes over. Do that, you'll try to lock up, he'll try to push through, and then you'll have one more chance to control your character. And just follow this hallway, and that'll be enough to end the sequence. soon as you come through this door, another cinematic takes over. That wraps things up, guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Finish watching the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys be good.
We've got unfinished business.
Just you wait, asshole.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.